Hey, American Contractor, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor who's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast. Sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor Show. You guys can go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. So for today's weather, we've got hail chances all across the north, all the way from Wyoming through the Dakotas and into New York. So we're going to talk about that. And then after that, I don't know what happened to my graphic there, but... Oh, okay, cool. Well, there it is, hail chances for the north. And then into tomorrow, we're gonna have more hail chances all the way from the Midwest into Denver. So we'll go through Kansas City, through Wichita. We got quite a few big cities in the risk for tomorrow for some hail. And then last but not least, our tropical check-in. We're checking in on Tropical Storm Nicholas, making its way through the Gulf and along the coast of Texas. And then we've also got a couple of disturbances in the Atlantic to talk about. But before we get into all of our weather, we want to get into our upcoming events first. So, first things first, it's going to be our second tailgate now of the season for OU Nebraska. It's going to be the game of the century, guys. So if you guys want to come out to our tailgate, we are going to be by the Bud Wilkinson House on Jenkins Avenue in Norman. And so this is going to be this Saturday, September 18th. The tailgate starts at 9 and the game starts at 11. And we will be showing the game at the tailgate. And so we got cornhole, we got food, free beer, free food. So you guys make sure to come out and say hello and watch some football with us there for the OU Nebraska game. And then, speaking of tailgates, we have an OU Texas ticket giveaway. You guys could win 2 tickets to OU Texas, and that is going to be held, the raffle's held on September 25th. So if you guys show up to the tailgate, again, Bud Wilkinson House on Jenkins is over where we're at. You guys show up to that tailgate, you can enter into the raffle, and then if you guys post a picture of yourself on social media at our tailgate, you get a second entry into that raffle. And those entries will be drawn, like I said, September 25th to see who wins those 2 OU Texas tickets. So make sure to get out there to our tailgate. You get some free food again, you can watch some football, and then you also have a chance at winning those tickets. Then, last but not least, moving away from football and back into roofing, we're going to be at RoofCon. That is the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. So that's going to be the end of the month, September 30th through October 2nd. And if you guys use the code HAILYEAH, you can get 10% off of your RoofCon tickets. So come out to Orlando and see us at that. Then into yesterday's storm reports, that's going to be September 11th, not September 8th, but for yesterday's storm reports, we had a couple of wind reports going through the mountain area all the way through the Front Range, and then most notably, Michigan all the way through Wisconsin and then into New York. Had some severe weather into yesterday as well. I believe we got a 3-star map through Michigan with some of the hail that moved through there, up to 2.5 inches through that area, and then a swath of wind as well. So got some activity that was noteworthy into yesterday. We'll see if we can get the same out of today. So taking a look into our current conditions, speaking of today. So you guys are always gorgeous west of the Rockies, jealous of you guys, but once we get out east, we've got a little more activity going on. So zooming in here, this is where our risk area is going to start into this afternoon. So all the way from Wyoming into Wisconsin, we've got a chance for some hail. So this area right here has been going all morning. We've got a couple of hailstorms moving out of this, and that's going to continue its way eastward, moving into this nice unstable environment through Minnesota and Wyoming. As it pushes into that area, we could get some gusty winds and some hail out of that. And then we'll also have some storms forming in this nice clear area behind it through Colorado, through Wyoming, and through Montana into this afternoon. Then pushing our way over to the east, we also have this little guy that's been trucking through Michigan through this morning and early afternoon. That's going to keep on going, and then we're going to get some storms that are going to fire up through the Pennsylvania and New York area. A couple of those could do some severe hail as well as gusty winds along with those as well. So a couple chances of hail and wind with a couple different systems moving through, and the thing that's driving all of these systems is going to be our cold front. So we're going to take a look at our temperatures in a moment. But again, we're going to check into our tropics at the end of the show here, but we want to note here is Tropical Storm Nicholas that is moving its way up into the Texas coast area, and it's going to pass up through Texas and through Louisiana later. Main risk with this is going to be a ton of rain, guys. With this storm that's pushing its way through, we could get some severe winds along with it. However, it should not be able to exceed tropical storm force before it makes landfall. So fortunately, that should stay in the tropical storm category as it pushes up towards Texas. However, checking this out for a ton of rain that's going to pass through the area. Now into our current temperatures, because again, that is what's driving our storms for later this afternoon and evening. So you can check out that nice cold front moving all the way through Nebraska, through Iowa, and up through the north here. So 70 degrees in Minneapolis north of that front, 66 in Casper. And then once you move down south of it, we're sitting in the mid 80s through the south here. So that's going to continue to drive southward, firing up those storms later on this afternoon. So now for our future radar, what's that going to look like into today? So here's those storms that have been moving on through this morning and early afternoon. Those are going to continue to push eastward. And again, once they get into that more unstable environment, you can see those starting to blow up as they get towards Minneapolis. It is a cluster of storms, so not expecting any crazy hail out of that as it passes over the city. However, we are going to get a couple of tail end Charlies moving on through, and those could pass through the La Crosse and just south of Minneapolis area, and we could get some severe hail out of those as well as gusty winds. And then we've also got obviously a couple of storms that are going to fire up behind all of that, but that is going to stay on the low end of our hail sizes. Then that's going to continue to push off to the east through the evening and overnight hours. And then we're going to push off to the east and see what we got going on over there. So we had that system that's pushing its way through Michigan. That's going to continue to push through, kind of fizzle out, quieter afternoon, but then once we get around to 10 p.m., we start to see these cells firing up through northern Pennsylvania. Plenty of instability to go around through that area, and that's what these storms are going to get fueled off of. So through northern Pennsylvania, could get some severe hail out of those storms as they continue to push eastward through Pennsylvania, through New York, and then off the coast by the early morning hours. So this is what that's going to look like for you guys in a graphic. So we've got our hail chances all the way from the east coast into Wyoming, so we're just going to jump on in here. So if you guys are in North Platte, Sioux Falls, or any of the area through South Dakota, Nebraska, through the western part of the state, you guys are all in a risk for $1/4 to $1/2 with any of those isolated storms that start passing through after that main system. Then once we push off to the east here, if you guys are in Minneapolis, through La Crosse and Green Bay, that's where that system that's moving through now is going to get you guys those hail chances into this afternoon. So as that pushes eastward, we got a moderate chance of seeing some hail through Green Bay, through La Crosse. That's probably going to stay in the $1/4 to $1/2 size range since we don't have enough instability to get widespread large hail, but you could get a stone or two that's in the ping pong to golf ball size range. But moderate chance for hail through La Crosse and Green Bay as that system works its way through there. Then we got that third area of storms that's passing through Michigan. So Detroit, you guys are on the low end for some $1/4 to $1/2. And then if we push eastward, where that's going to track, Buffalo, again, low end for you, and New York for $1/4 to $1/2. If you guys are in the northern Pennsylvania area, through the Scranton area, you guys are at a moderate chance of ping pong to golf ball sized hailstones as those pass through and as we get that more unstable environment. Then for wind, it's going to be a very similar forecast area, but we are going to add Texas and Louisiana into that due to Tropical Storm Nicholas. It's going to be a little bit of a different risk. So let's talk here about our wind risks. So if you guys, again, are in North Platte, Sioux Falls, La Crosse, you guys are all in the chance for some gusty winds, but we got, as you guys have heard, a few different systems that's going to pass through. So these systems to the Central Plains, through the Central Plains, are going to be in the low end for scattered gusty winds. But once we get to that complex that's moving through Sioux Falls and La Crosse, you guys have a more moderate chance of seeing some stronger winds as that passes through your area. Then if you're in Green Bay, looking like a low end chance for you, same with Detroit. And then passing through the East Coast here, Buffalo, low end chance since things do start to get pretty scattered here through northern Pennsylvania. But as those pass through, New York could hit you guys with a moderate chance of some gusty winds later on into this evening and tonight. Then for Tropical Storm Nicholas, not quite as much of a damaging wind threat, but you guys do have a tornado risk along with some of the spin-ups that this could cause with it later on this afternoon and evening. So if you guys are in Corpus Christi or Houston, you guys are in a low-end chance because this will be scattered, but you could possibly see some tornadoes through this area into tonight as that gets those storms rotating through the area. And then as that moves inland here, we could get some strong winds. However, it's quickly going to weaken once it moves over shore. So we could get a brief period of severe wind as well through this area. Then for tomorrow, we're going to have another widespread risk moving all the way from the Midwest into the Front Range here. So here's what we got on our future radar here. It's going to be a pretty quiet start to the day, just some showers here and there, but by 5:30, check this out, guys. Here we are through Michigan, through Indiana, and working our way all the way through the plains. We got that cold front that's just sinking south into that unstable environment, firing up all those storms on ahead of it. So if you guys are in eastern Michigan, in northern Indiana, we got a couple of isolated cells moving through that area by 5:30. And then as that continues to push to the south and east, that really blows up through the area. A lot of loud thunderstorms, lots of lightning with that. Possible hail in the $quarter to $half size range since we lose that singular storm mode. But then once we move out through St. Louis and into Kansas, through Wichita, again, lots of messy storms, but they are going to bring us a chance for some scattered hail and gusty wind into tomorrow. And then those are going to continue to push off into the evening and overnight hours. If you guys are in the Oklahoma City area, you're probably going to be waking up to some scattered storms and some gusty winds, probably below severe limits, but some nice showers to start your day into Wednesday. So this is what that looks like here. Oh, well, there's that. Got to wait for that to end. I don't know what's happening. But we do have that storm system that's going to push to the southeast and then, again, form some gusty winds as well as hail risks. So we've got our hail risk here, and this is all going to be gusty wind threat as well throughout tomorrow. So here's New York all the way down into Michigan, through Missouri, and into the Front Range of Colorado. Any of those areas could get a low-end chance of seeing $quarters to $half. So let's jump into what cities specifically are in that forecast. So if you guys are in Denver, as usual, you guys are going to be on the far west end of that risk because we're going to have to see if those storms can form far enough west to roll over you guys with some severe hail. But it does look like this area on the eastern side of Colorado could get some $quarters to $half into tomorrow. As well as Wichita. You guys saw those storms moving through the Wichita, KC area. Those could produce some severe hail as well. And then up through Missouri into Chicago, Detroit, $quarters to $half for you, all the way into Buffalo. You guys could get some severe hail as well. And again, don't forget, there's going to be a severe wind chance along with any of those risk areas as well. So that's what we got for you guys for our overland risks. And then into tomorrow and into today, we do have a risk for some severe wind and tornadoes associated with Tropical Storm Nicholas. So right now, it is sitting just off the coast of Texas, 60-mile-an-hour winds, so we are in the severe range. However, we are below hurricane force. We need 74 to be a hurricane. So well below that threshold, should still stay a tropical storm into today and tomorrow. Moving north at 12 miles an hour, so good speed for a little system here, and as that moves onshore, we should see that make landfall into late Monday night or early Tuesday, or late tonight into early Tuesday morning. Right before then, it's going to be 70 miles an hour, but check out how quickly that weakens as it moves inland. 50 miles an hour by Tuesday morning, and then as it moves over Houston, 35 miles an hour. So shouldn't be too much to worry about in terms of wind by tomorrow morning. Could still rotate some storms, get you that tornado threat, but not anything in terms of long-term gusty winds with that. However, going to be dropping a ton of rain over the area as it continues to push northeastward over Louisiana into Mississippi through Thursday evening. So this is what that looks like for you guys if you are in that area. This is our rainfall forecast. So if you guys are in Houston, Sugar Land, Pearland, Katy, any of those areas are going to just get dumped on with rain from this system. So we're looking at over 7 inches of rain in Houston, over 10 inches in Sugar Land. This is just one run of one model. The area of this could shift, the intensity could shift a little bit, but the long-term takeaway from this is we're going to get a ton of rain in the Houston area through tomorrow morning from this system. So here is Pearland, 7.1 inches, so over 7 inches in Pearland, over 6 inches in Galveston, and then once we move out towards Beaumont, it's going to start to taper off a little bit. You guys can see those numbers start to go down as that continues to move over that dry inland air. Not going to have that fuel to keep it raining over you guys as we move towards the Lake Charles area and towards New Iberia, just over an inch of rain for you guys. Then into the rest of our system. So that's the main story for Tropical Storm Nicholas. It's going to be a quick turnaround for today and tomorrow as that moves over the southern states. But then we'll have to see what happens of these next two systems. So this one is just north of Bahamas right now, moving into that nice warm Gulf Stream water. So not much of a chance for it to develop over the next 2 days. It's got to get there into that nice warm water, low shear environment, everything it needs to form and develop. So 50% chance over the next 5 days of seeing that become a tropical depression. Then moving our way off to the east, off of the west coast of Africa, we've got another system that's going to track eastward through the Atlantic, 30% for the next 2 days, 80% in the next 5 to become yet another tropical depression moving into the western Atlantic for the end of the week. So we're going to want to watch these two systems, see where they go and what they do. And we'll keep you guys updated as always, but today the main stories are just going to be those widespread wind and hail risks as well as Tropical Storm Nicholas. So we're going to update you guys on our severe weather chances daily at noon. If you guys want to catch those videos, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you'd rather at info@hailtrace.com or check out our awesome website, hailtrace.com, for more details. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrew Myers. Thanks for watching.